today on this Friday to share so much good information with all of you and really support you on your fertility journey. So, hello. Hopefully, you all can hear me okay and see me okay. If you can, just give me a thumbs up, say yes, let me know so that I know that everything is working well on my end. As you can tell, we've already had some technical difficulties, so we had to switch the link. But if you're here, you're in the right place, you're on the right link, and I know that everything is going well. So thanks so much for being here. I'm grateful to have all of you here, and I see all the hellos and yeses. So yes, it's all working out well. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we have hello from Argentina, Giselle. That's right, and Texas from Gwen. Who else do we have joining here? So as I always say to all of you when I do a live, say hello, let me know where you're joining from, because I love knowing the reach we have and who we are connecting with. Already, I know that we are reaching Switzerland and SA. I'm not sure what I mean by SA, but the UK, here in the States, Canada, Chicago, all over. I think SA was South Africa. So India, Germany. So we have so many of you watching from all over the world. Truly all over the world. And that means so much to me because it tells me that we are helping so many of you on your fertility journey. And not only that, hi, Emily. I see familiar names. I want to say faces, but names. So we're helping so many of you from all over the world achieve your goals of a pregnancy and a healthy baby in your arms, which is what we really want, which is why I am here today to talk to all of you, to really share all the information I can in the time that we have together today to really support you on your journeys. And today we are specifically talking about reproductive anti-aging. That's right. You know, this is such an important topic, such a valued topic, because so many of you have been told you don't have enough eggs, or your egg quality is no good, and you have to do IVF, or you need donor eggs, or whatever story has been told to you. We want to put that control back in your hands. I want to put that control back in your hands. I want you to be able to feel like you're able to support your health, your reproductive function, your eggs, your ovarian health, anything that we can do to support you on your journey. That's what our goal is. That's what we're trying to do right now, which is why I created this masterclass for all of you, because we need to start to think differently about how we're facing our fertility journeys, right? We've been made to believe that we have to give up our control to the IVF world, and that's really the only way for us to achieve the results and pregnancy that we desire. And the reality is you have so much more control than you've been led to believe, but we have to find the right answers. And this is exactly what I've done for so many and helped so many couples do, is be able to help you understand what's going on, take a different perspective and approach to what's going on your fertility journey, and then give you the information, the tools, the knowledge, so that you can become empowered to make the changes and get the results that you're looking for. Okay? And so we have to take a step back and we have to take a different approach. And that's what my masterclass is going to be about today. And so I'm going to give it a couple more minutes to let everybody else join. And then we're going to get started. And if people join in the middle, then they join in the middle. It's quite all right. But I want to make sure that we give everyone enough of an opportunity to join in. And because we had some technical difficulties, I want to make sure that we give you all a little bit of time so that if you were on the old link, the wrong link, which wasn't working, that you're now on this link and able to support me and all of you. So I'm going to be sharing some housekeeping things for all of you. Some while we're letting everybody join in. I know we've got reach all over, and we're talking to so many of you from all over the world, and that means we've got different time zones, right? For some of you, it's very early in the morning. For some of you, it's the middle of the day. For some of you, it might be very late at night. And so we need to have some housekeeping things, right? So first and foremost, if you're on any other social media, now's not the time for that. You will have plenty of time to get back to your social media if you want to. Right now, I want all of you to focus here because this is the most important thing that you're going to hear for the next hour. This is the information you need. So all you need in the next hour is my face and voice on this screen, something to drink, and a pad and a paper to take some notes. Okay, that's what I want you all to do. That's where I want your focus to be, so that we can get the right information and get into it. All right, so the next thing is I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. And when I share my screen, you're going to see me in a little corner, and then you're going to see my presentation. And the reason for that is because my presentation is going to be the most important part of what I'm going to be sharing right now. And I want you to be able to see that clearly. And then last but not least, we're going to do a live Q&A at the end. So I want to encourage all of you to hold your questions till the end. I won't see your questions until the end because I'm going to be looking at my presentation. And once I come off of my presentation, then I'm going to be opening it up to questions. So please just hold on and post your questions at the end, but you can take notes of what they are, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. I'm going to do my best to answer everybody's questions. But as I can see right now, we're approaching 200 visitors watching right now live. And so what that means is I might not be able to get to your question. So I'm going to do my best to answer your question, but I want you to hang tight. And the only way you're going to get your questions answered is if you stay to the end. So make sure you stay to the end. So now let's get into it, okay? My assistant, Anayansi, is going to be answering questions or kind of supporting in the backdrop. She's going to be chiming in the chat box, not me, and supporting all of you. And now let's get into the presentation. So give me one moment while I share that up here. And then we've got to do this. And then I've got to go here. Yeah. Always a few clicks of a button, right? All right. Here we go. There we go. So this is the image that I have for all of you here, sitting on your sofa with a good friend, both of you sharing a pregnancy. And so this is the dream I have for all of you, but we've got to get to the dream, right? And that's why I'm welcoming you to this fertility training. So this is a live session, and it's going to be all about how you can enhance your fertility so that you can get pregnant and become the mom of your dreams. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Dr. Mark Sklar, also known as the fertility expert. And if we haven't met before today, I'm really excited to have you here. I love new viewers, and I love to support new women and couples on their journey. And I'm so excited for you to gain a ton of knowledge about your body, what's not letting you get pregnant, and how to create a fertility plan for your specific needs. So as you know, I'm a natural fertility specialist, and I'm a leader of a team of experts working together, helping couples from all over the world. And actually, we all got together last night to meet, talk, and enjoy each other's company in preparation for this, because I was picking their brains on some information I can share with all of you. And that means that we look into all the systems to find what's not letting you get pregnant by treating your body as a whole system that needs to work in harmony. And my team and I have helped thousands of couples from all over the world get pregnant and have healthy babies. And that's what we want for all of you. So today you're going to learn how you can be more fertile now than you were in your 20s. I know that that sounds crazy, but that's what I've been able to do for so many of you that I've worked with over the years. So I'm really, really excited to teach you my fertility anti-aging method, because it really will change the fertility game for you, especially if you want to get pregnant naturally. Not saying that we don't work with couples who are going through IUI or IVF. We do, and happy to support you. But we always have to set the foundation naturally, regardless of how we're going to conceive, both naturally or assisted. We do need to lay that foundation, and that's some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. And this is the best way to do it. It's a proven system and strategy that has worked for hundreds of women and men that I have supported throughout the years. So if you stay until the end, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to have access to a Q&A at the end of the training. So if you have questions throughout the training today, I definitely want to answer them, but please save them till the end. Just another reminder of that. Plus, you're also going to get a chance to apply to qualify for the Hope Fertility Coaching Program, where my team and I create a personalized fertility program for you and offer you weekly support forever. That's right. You heard that correct. Forever. That is a wonderful thing to hear. To me, it's music to my ears. Okay, so a little bit about me for those who are new to me and don't know much about me. During my training, my medical training, I helped my brother and his then wife conceive and actually have 2 sets of twins. The first patient ever that I helped get pregnant had a baby girl. She was a woman who had PCOS, and she had a little baby girl named Faith. And actually to this day, that is the only baby picture that sits on my desk in addition to the baby pictures of my kids, because she was the spark that led me to all of you today. And I don't know how much she knows and recognizes how impactful our relationship was in my life, because she thinks it was more about me impacting her. But the reality is without her in my life, I wouldn't have helped the hundreds and hundreds of couples that I've helped over the years, and I wouldn't be here with all of you. So I'm so grateful to her and little Faith, who's not so little anymore. She's about to go to college, or I think a freshman in college already. So I opened up my first medical clinic here in San Diego. We were getting such great results that we opened up a second one. And then I started being contacted by people, couples, women from all over the world who needed help, and they wanted support through telemedicine. And that is how I started to create my YouTube channel, which many of you are watching me on today. And that little YouTube channel started many years ago with just some simple videos to help communicate things that I wanted all the couples to hear and understand and learn from. And that has grown to this week over 200,000 subscribers following me and learning to impact their fertility. So I'm grateful for all of you to allow me to support you on your journey, and I'm excited to continue to do that here today. And these are just some stories of women that I've been able to support, some testimonials of women that I've been able to support. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these right here because I really want to get into the meat of it, but these also all live on my website, marksklar.com. You can always check them out there, including the additional stories of hope of live testimonials of women that I have helped, and they share their stories as well. So these, again, just some additional stories of hope. Thank you for all your help getting us here. You've been such an amazing helping me through this crazy journey, and I'm finally a mommy. So this training is for all of you remember, if you have spent hours researching on Dr. Google, researching with your friends, talking with your friends and family, reading in books. You know about all the different supplements potentially that you should be taking, the blood work you should be doing, the FSH and AMH, although I spelled that wrong, but nothing seems to be working, then for sure you're in the right place. You've been told that your eggs are too old, not good enough. You've been labeled advanced maternal age, maybe even told that you need donor eggs, then for sure you're in the right place. and you don't know what to do, you're feeling overwhelmed, there's just so much information, and you don't know how to process it and make it your own, then this is definitely the training for you. You're in the right place. But, and I don't like to tell anyone to leave, but this is not the right place for you. And maybe it is the right thing for you to do is to leave if you're looking for the magic pill because you want it to help you get pregnant yesterday. Because I don't believe that there is a magic pill as much as we all search for it. And if you don't want to get pregnant, then obviously I don't know what you're doing here. So go use your time in a different way, hopefully. And if you don't believe that you can become a mom, I want you to start to believe in yourself if you don't. We have to believe up here so that we can believe in here, so that you can't see down here, but I'm over my belly so that your uterus can believe in itself and do what it needs to do. And you're not willing, if you're not willing to do what it takes to give your body what it needs in order to have a healthy baby, because there is no magic pill. It takes effort, it takes time, and it takes patience. And you have to be willing to put in the work. And if you are, then you're absolutely in the right place. And if you get mad at me when I'm giving you an hour or more of my best fertility advice to help you get pregnant, and then I'm going to invite you to join me in one of my programs, my Hope Fertility Coaching Program. And if that bothers you, then for sure you're in the wrong place, okay? And we do that because many of you need more support and more customized support. So I'm going to invite you to join me and the other many women and couples who are part of that program so that you can get the same results that they're getting. So Mark, I've been told I'm too old. No woman wants to hear that they're too old or that their eggs are too old, right? Just because you've been told this doesn't mean it has to be true or that it can't change. It's not static, okay? Just because you've tried for whatever amount of years with no success doesn't mean it won't ever work. It just means that we need to do things in a different way if we want to get different results. And we have to find a different perspective because we're hearing all these white coats tell us that our eggs are no good or you're too old or you can't do that. But we know because we've seen that that doesn't have to be true. So we need to get a different perspective on this as well. So it breaks my heart every time I hear, but it's so easy for everybody else. Why is it so hard for me? You need to understand that every body is different. Your body is different than somebody else's body. And we all have to recognize that. We all have different paths and different things that we need to address. We need to find out what's not letting you get pregnant and create a personal plan for you, not just what everybody else is doing, but what you need. And for those of you who don't know, unexplained or too old are not answers, okay? I suggest you don't accept them either. But I also want you to understand what other things you should be doing to get pregnant. So let's think about this. If what you were doing worked, you would probably be pregnant already. Also, you'll understand that infertility is just a symptom, and we're going to go over what's called the fertility spiral. So I want you all to understand that not able to get pregnant, unexplained infertility, too old, these are not answers as to why you're not getting pregnant. We have to find out why those things are happening, right? So there's got to be another underlying reason as to why. And that's really what we need to start to look at and get a better understanding for. Before we get into the health of your eggs, I want you to understand this, okay? You need to know why you are not getting pregnant and then what to do about it. Keep this in mind. Understanding your body as a whole entity is the key. Your body is really a perfect machine where all the systems not only work together, but communicate with one another. And that's part of what we need to re-enhance, reconnect. So most women trying to conceive don't have a plan. They're just trying, taking some supplements. Maybe they've done some tests. They're listening to what other people have told them to do, but there's no concerted plan. They basically just keep trying every month without success, but they don't do anything different Or sometimes what I do see is we don't give anything enough time, right? Like you try something 1 month, if you're not pregnant, then you change the next month, and so on and so forth. Sometimes it's also not always about changing things. It's also sometimes it's about giving things enough time if you know what's going on and have the right plan. So they get the same results. We get a negative test, and time keeps going on. We get overwhelmed. We maybe get depressed, more negatives, more stress in our body. Okay, we need to change that spiral. And so I'm a firm believer that if we take our health and future into our own hands, that we can make a difference in the outcomes we achieve. Your fertility, your egg quality, your ovarian health are absolutely no different. That's the problem I see often with those in my fertility coaching program. They are either doing everything or nothing at all, right? Researching, reading, trying new supplements, seeing YouTube videos, adding more stress to the process. And often they just don't have a plan. You need a plan that's designed for you. So for example, okay, Shelly, she tried for a few years and decided to start the IVF journey. She reached out to me to get a plan to help her with her IVF and got pregnant on her first try. But prior to that, she didn't have a plan. And Donna was the same. Although Donna approached me earlier, she knew she had some issues. Again, you can listen to these stories of hope on my website. She knew she had some issues like PCOS and low AMH, but she didn't understand what the rest of her lab work meant. So she reached out with enough time. We created a plan. And then when she was ready to have her child at 44, mind you, she got pregnant. So having a baby after 35 can be simple, but there are a few facts that we all need to know. And just a reminder, keep your questions till the end. I promise I will get to them. I'm gonna avoid the question stream right now, the chat box right now, because I want to focus on this and share this information with all of you, but I will get to your questions at the end, okay? So sit tight. For those of you who are just joining, I'm going to share all my knowledge first, then we're going to do the Q&A. So as a healthy 30-year-old woman, you only have at best a 20% chance of getting pregnant each month, and sometimes that's a little bit lower. And as we age, that number declines. So as you get to between your 35 and 39, you're somewhere between 8 and 15%. At 40 to 42, you're at 5%, and 1 to 2% over 43. Age affects not only fertility rates, but also miscarriage rates, which go up from about 10% in your 20s to 15 after the age 35, and upwards of 50% at the age of 45. The good news is that there are many things to help you increase your fertility naturally. And I don't say these numbers to deter you or depress you. I say these to give you reality so that you are patient with yourself, kinder to yourself, and so that you understand why it's so important for you to have a plan designed for you to improve these percentages and give you the best chance you can. But what if what you were doing was working, you'd be pregnant now? So oftentimes we need to do things differently to get different results. Taking this training is an opportunity for you to have a fresh start on your fertility journey and for your future baby. So who is ready to dive in? Who's ready to make changes? I want to hear from all of you. I want you to comment yes in the comment section. And let's start with phases that you need to follow to create your fertility plan to improve egg quality and overall health. So I'm not going to keep going until I see yes in the chat box. This is going to be where I am going to look at the chat box, by the way. So I want to hear from all of you, okay? I'm not going to keep going until I see yes from all of you. There we go. Jasmine did. Sonia, Emma, beautiful. Let's get going. All right. Okay. So you're about to see a real treatment plan that my team and I have put together for one of the members in my Hope Fertility program. And I do this because I want you to understand what it all means, how it all gets put together, and additionally, that's how I'm breaking down part of this presentation for all of you as well. So with the information we have received, we found out that this woman was dealing with all of these issues right here, okay? Reoccurrent pregnancy loss, protein S deficiency, advanced maternal age. With that comes elevated FSH, lower AMH, egg quality becomes a concern when we start to see those things. And then we have these other variables like thyroid issues with elevated antibodies, elevated testosterone, inflammation, MTHFR. So you can see there's a lot going on, right? So okay, so this is a treatment plan. You see, this is exactly what I just showed you. And now we're scrolling down. You can see all the different things that I start to include. Lifestyle, diet, we just passed diet, sleeping issues, we want to address that. We want to clean up all the toxins, which is why I include the skincare. We always talk about home therapy. What are the different home therapies that you can include? And then what everybody loves to see is supplements and what supplements are best for her. So you can see that this plan is customized to her specific needs, right? Based on that diagnosis, okay? And so this is also a testimonial. I'm just going to read a little bit of this so that you can understand what impacts this can all have when you make these changes. Hello, everyone. I have a big big win to share. I got a positive pregnancy test. Sorry for the long post, but thought I'd also share what I've been doing, okay? It has been 6 months since I was last pregnant, and last time I miscarried at about 6 weeks. I also had 2 other miscarriages in 2020. They found out that the miscarriages were likely caused by a blood clotting disorder, low protein S. This is the same testimonial, by the way, of the woman you just saw her treatment plan, okay? And MTHFR mutation. So I did make changes afterwards to add supplements for egg quality, take my methylfolate, baby aspirin, and so forth. One major dietary change was that I went gluten, dairy, and sugar-free. Since joining Mark's program, I really increased my water intake, used the collagen, drank more bone broth. She goes on, used the greens and the cod liver oil. More importantly, and thanks to Mark, I was trying to manifest meditation for pregnancy. And now I'm just highlighting some things so you don't read the whole thing. And now I'm 38 weeks pregnant and at 44 years of age. I want you all to know it's possible. It can happen with the right plan. And the right plan starts with phase 1, okay? Anytime we're talking about the right plan, we have to understand what's going on with our bodies. And that means we have to understand what the labs are telling us. We have to do the right tests. So that means testing and not guessing. All treatment plans should start with lab work, as it's the only way you're really going to know what's going on. Actually, the treatment plans don't start with the lab tests. They start before that, right? The lab tests have to happen before the treatment plan. So we do that to base everything off of. Have you had all your hormones tested? Not just the ones needed for IVF, but full hormone testing to find out if your endocrine system is working optimally. I spoke to a woman 2 days ago, and she said she went into the IVF clinic and she sent me the labs that the IVF clinic tested. Those labs were 6 labs that fit on 1 page. The IVF clinic wasn't testing to find out what was going on, to see how their hormones were doing or how their endocrine system was doing, or any other system for that matter. Those labs were specifically done to find out if she was a good candidate for IVF. That is it. We need more information. We need to find out why your body's not doing what it was meant to do. So have you ruled out all the other possible causes? These are some of the ones we recommend for our members. With these, you'll be able to investigate, put the dots together, and create a personalized treatment plan. Sharing them here, I want to share them all here for you so that you can start to understand and start to do your own investigation. So most of you, what I find today, and this is exactly what happened with this woman I just mentioned that I spoke to 2 days ago. She had only AMH done, right? You can see it right. Maybe you can't see it right here. AMH done, okay? She had estradiol done, which is E2 right there. And then she had ones that weren't even on this list because all of those were her like hepatitis and HIV and so forth, right? So that's all they tested for her hormones, was barely anything. You could see this full list that I have right here for all of you: FSH, LH, estradiol, AMH, prolactin, testosterone, DHEA. The list goes on. And those are just the hormones. We do need to understand your overall body, what's going on with your iron levels, what's going on with your other blood markers like CBC and metabolic panel, what's going on with your thyroid, progesterone, and we can never forget your partner, semen analysis. So these are things that absolutely 100% need to be done for everybody. And this is just a baseline. There's more beyond this if we need to, but this is the foundational thing that all of you should be having done. And I guarantee most of you have not. This is going to sound crazy, but around 92% of you watching haven't had enough fertility testing done. But that's not your fault because of the stories I just told you, right? So many women and couples come to me complaining about the lack of access to proper hormone testing in their doctor's office and being ignored, quite frankly, feeling like they're being ignored when they ask for more tests and not getting them. I have a firsthand experience with the frustration it can cause to be told you don't need hormone testing when you know it could provide the key information to your journey. The good news is you now have the chance to take charge of your hormone testing for yourself, okay? Because I just gave you the information of what labs you need to be doing, and so you can start to take charge of that. Once we move on from testing, then we do need to start to break down the foundational things that our body needs to do, and it always starts with nutrition. About 30 minutes ago, I got off the phone with a good friend of mine talking about his health. And the first thing I said to him is, you have to clean up your diet. And we all have to, but there is no one size fits all nutrition plan for everyone who wants to get pregnant. Okay, so as you can see, I'm following the same points that we included, or that I included in the personal plan. You might not remember, but I started with testing and the results. Then I went to nutrition, which is why phase 2 is nutrition. And then I believe that every diet should be personalized for all of you, right? I just said there's no one size fits all. I know that some of you asked me about keto. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not for everybody. Some of you asked me about fasting. It's not for everybody. Low carb, paleo, Whole30, it's not for everybody. I'm also going to tell you all that if you start to do one of these plans, it doesn't mean that you have to do it the same way as your neighbor, your mom, your sister, your best friend, whoever that is. There could be variations to all of this. So I often get a lot of questions about diet, about what's the right one for me, what's the right one to get pregnant. Basically, we have to determine what the right one is and create your personalized dietary plan. But here are a couple of basic guidelines that I do think you all can start to follow. But I'm going to tell you and remind you all that it might not stay in these exact percentages. Just because I list protein at 30% and fat at 40 and carbs at 30 doesn't mean that it's not going to change a little bit for all of you. Maybe the balance needs to be a little bit different because some of you need less fat and some of you need more fat or more carbs or whatever that might be. But this is a general guideline to help you get started, and then it does need to be customized from there. And then this food pyramid, one of the things that I want you all to know is this food pyramid is actually a little bit different than what you're used to seeing in an American food pyramid. You can see this is actually flipped upside down. In an American food pyramid, those grains and legumes are at the bottom foundation. We're changing that. Here's where we have grass-fed meat, bone broth, fermented foods, hard for me to see, juicing, raw foods, enough water. So this is your foundation, right? Then you build upon that. You add in your veggies, you add in your other proteins, you add in your fats. Look at your fats. Fats are right in the middle because we typically need more of these. And then we build and go from there, adding in the fruits and the grains and seeds. So this has to be looked at differently when we're looking at our diet. This is just a sample of a suggested list of foods that we give to those who join our program, the Hope Fertility Coaching Program. But you can see it's all fresh foods, right? These are foods that your whole foods that you can cook, not things that come out of packages or from the drive-thru at McDonald's. But one of the best ways to understand more about your diet so that you know how you can start to adjust things and customize it for yourself is actually doing a diet log, or what we call here a food log, right? You're keeping a journal for yourself. And this is really easy to start to just document for yourself. I do have this sample on my program for those who are part of it, for the members, but it's really easy. Just the date, how much time, what type of exercise, how much time you exercise for, and then the foods you're eating, the time you ate them, what it was, the amount, drinks, and how you felt afterwards. This is just a simple way for you to understand. There's also plenty of apps that can help you do the same thing. But as we talk about nutrition, I feel like I can never talk about nutrition and not talk about detoxification. So detoxing for fertility is super important. Many of the women I work with have been trying, doing several IVFs, and have never done a reset detox. I call it a reset detox, which is why I put it in there like that. I recommend doing at least one cleanse/detox a year, especially if you've been on a lot of medication or hormones and feel like something is off and you need kind of to press the reset button, which is why I call it the reset detox. Anyone who is trying to conceive and who wants to have a healthy pregnancy should absolutely consider a fertility detox of some sort. And here's why detoxing is so important. It's not only about diet in terms of detoxification. Detoxification is important because we also need to detox from the world, right? We're detoxing the chemicals that are in our foods, right? So that we can allow our body to function easier, more simply, and press the reset button. But we're also detoxing from the stress and the world around us. So stop doing the things you don't like doing. Stop interacting with the people you don't like being around and who make you unhappy. That's a detox. That's part of the detox. Stop watching the news and stay away from social media because it just stresses us out. That's a detox. Try doing a detox for 21 days, including both the food part of it and the lifestyle part of it, and see how you feel. This is something that I teach inside my programs. You'll get all the members starting a 21. I get all the members starting a 21-day detox. So you can reset your fertility and hopefully get pregnant faster. So phase 2. Actually, this is phase 3. I mislabeled that. I apologize. Lifestyle stress management. The journey to motherhood is a tough one and often takes all your mental space. It's all you can think about, and it feels like your life is on hold. Don't let that happen, okay? We can't prioritize all these egg quality things and ovarian reserve things and put the rest of our life on hold. They have to happen. You still have to live your life. And these all have to happen somewhat simultaneously, okay? So I want to give you some tips and tools that you can start incorporating right now. And I have much more in my programs, but I want to give you a couple that I want you to start to do right now. So I want you to create the list of things you love, and I want you to start doing them. I know it sounds easy, but it's not. I want you to list it. The first thing I enjoy is blank, whatever that is, right? Taking a walk in the park. And I'm going to dedicate time to myself to do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And I'm going to do it at 8 a.m. You're going to document that, right? And then you're going to put that into your calendar, and then you're going to do it. I also want you all to create a new morning routine. I call it the fertility morning routine. This is a sample of what it can look like, but you can make your own. It helps you start the day off on the right foot. So you spend a little bit more time with your partner cuddling and enjoying each other's company. You take some time, and it doesn't have to be long, to do a little bit of meditation and breathing. You write some positive affirmations for yourself that are going to set the tone for the day. And those should really be guided towards: my ovaries are healthy, my uterus is functioning properly, I have perfect, beautiful eggs, I'm going to get pregnant this cycle, right? Whatever affirmations you want. Then, when you're done doing that, you're going to drink a big glass of room temperature water. And then you're going to move your body, stretch, go for a short walk, jump around, whatever it might be. We have to create an environment for a healthy body and healthy reproductive function. And then an extra tip is also spend quality time with your partner. Make time for each other, not just the 5 minutes in the morning, but enjoying your time together. Don't let the baby dancing be just about making babies. I want that to be fun as well. Okay? So spend more time together. So this is something that I think is also really important, which is why I included it here. This is someone who's part of my Hope Fertility program. And this is about baby steps. And she says, raise your hand if you and your partner feel healthier than you have in years. So impressed with what sticking with the program can do. Excited to keep learning and growing. Much more to come. Now she says, now that my stool test is done, because I had her do a stool test, and I am adjusting to a season of not trying. Anyone else connect with this? This is about baby steps. This is not about perfection. It's about progress. And sometimes these small little steps make big steps. And you can't see that when you're making these small steps. And it's only in hindsight that she can see that she's starting to make bigger steps, because she's making the small steps as well. And that's part of the process. And part of those baby steps is sleep. So I want you to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I also don't want you going to bed after 11 p.m. regularly. Randomly, it's fine, but not regularly. I prefer that you're in bed at 10, asleep by 11, and that you're sleeping good 7 to 8 hours. It's so important for our hormones, for our fertility, for our endocrine system, for our stress management, for so many things. So, but part of that means good sleep hygiene means a dark room and no screen time for at least 2 hours before bed. I know that could be hard, at the very least, maybe then an hour, but we can't be on our phone looking at social media right before we go to fall asleep. That doesn't work for our brains and for our hormones, okay? And then moving on to the next step, environmental toxins. This is one that I've become much more passionate about in recent months and even in the last year. We have so many chemicals that we are exposed to on a regular basis that we have to understand that these are absolutely impacting our egg quality, our ovarian reserve, okay? The chemicals that you are exposed to impact the quality of the eggs that you are producing. They also potentially cause your ovaries to shut down because it's trying to protect itself. So we need to clean up all the chemicals and toxins that we are exposed to and reduce that as much as we can. So part of that is also, by the way, getting rid of the toxic people in your life, distancing yourself from them, meaning getting rid of that negative energy that they're giving to you. But the toxic environment is not just chemicals. It's also, again, we talked about the TV time and the screen time and computer time. And then it is about all the things we use in our house, what you cook with, what you clean with, what you put on your skin, what you use as makeup and beauty products. These are all, they can be good for you or they can be bad for you. They can be endocrine disruptors, which mean they throw off your hormones, or they can support your body, your fertility, and your hormones. We all have to make choices of what we want that to be. And we're all exposed to way more chemicals than we can ever imagine on a daily basis. So we want to minimize how much more exposure we have to ourselves by cleaning up those things. So I encourage all of you to look at your environment, your life, and those things around you and start to create a plan for how you're going to change that and improve that. All right, home fertility therapies. These are things that I love to use to enhance egg quality and ovarian reserve. Two of my favorites although there are more that I discuss in my programs, are the vaginal steam and the Castro packs. I love these. I love these. I love these. They make such a big difference. I do find that the Castro packs are a bit more important for egg quality and ovarian reserve than the vaginal steam baths. Those I find more for a uterine environment. But we do need a good, healthy uterus to help with implantation, so they can help there as well. And I want all of you to schedule a plan around how you're going to incorporate these home therapies into your day or your week. And so this is a sample fertility home therapy planner that I've created and give to those members so that you all can understand how you map this out. So you put those different therapies down on this list, and then you map out which days of the week you're going to do it, what time, for how long, and how does it pertain to ovulation, before, after, during, and so forth. These can be really impactful for your fertility, your egg quality, and ovarian health. Now, no training could be complete without supplements. And I know that all of you really, when I say come and join me to learn what you can do for your egg quality and ovarian reserve, all of you are always thinking, what is Mark going to talk about when it comes to supplements? What information is he going to share? What pill can I take to improve my egg quality and ovarian reserve? So I know many of you have been waiting for this category specifically, this phase, okay? So I want you all to know that I could talk about supplements truly all day long. And the main things that I want you to understand is that not all supplements are the same, and not all supplements are good for you. So just because I'm going to talk about some supplements right now doesn't mean that every one of you should be on all of these. This is why it's so important for you to get lab work done, to understand what's going on with your body, what your body needs, and then create a plan to only address those things, which is how you put in those supplements. And this is exactly what I do for those couples who are in the program. Once we get your lab work back, I'm creating a plan based on that information, and then we're creating the supplement plan to support that. So even though I love all these supplements, it doesn't mean that everybody's on all of these things, and not everybody is taking the same thing. But let's get into these supplements now that I've kind of gone on my little soapbox about, that whole thing. With that being said, I'm sure you want a few recommendations. So here are my favorite ones that I recommend that you start taking. Some new ones you've probably never heard of before, because this is really the first time I'm talking about it in this training. I saved them for this training. I actually could have done them in several videos, and I purposely held on to them because I would have made those videos an hour long. So I held on to them for all of you here. And if you stuck around for this long, you're the ones who's getting that information, not everybody else. And if you register for this training, you're going to get an email with a link to them as well. So don't stress about it. You will get that information. And if you're watching from YouTube, you can find the link in the description so that you can register and get that information as well. But don't go there now. Wait till after the training. So this is a sample right now. You've all probably heard me talk about many of these already. You're going to get a link to these. The FH Pros that I love, the CoQ10 and ubiquinol, the Feminescence and the greens and organs. These are some of my favorites, but I don't want to spend time on these because I've already talked about those many times. Today, I want to spend time on a few others that I have not discussed very often. So I just created a new video a couple weeks ago, and I did talk about NMN quite a bit. So just as a recap for all of you, NMN is a direct and stable precursor to NAD, a widely studied coenzyme present in all living cells and critical for energy production, DNA repair, and cell survival. So when we start talking about egg quality, we always talk about DNA repair and cell survival. We also talk about energy, and the storehouse of the cell, the energy powerhouse of the cell, is called the mitochondria. And the NMN supports that. So there has been a research study done on NMN and egg quality, which was promising. And I did go into that a bit more in that video. But for the sake of time, I'm going to move on to the other ones already, which have not been discussed in a video. So PQQ, as you age, your number of functional mitochondrial declines. If any of you have been watching for any period of time, you understand that egg quality is dramatically impacted both positively and negatively by mitochondrial health and function. So as we age, our mitochondrial function declines. PQQ can actually support the growth of brand new mitochondria, which is truly amazing, which encourages healthy and youthful cellular energy for your entire body, including the cellular energy, the mitochondrial function in the cells that produce follicles and eggs, which is why I talk about it here. Moving on to the next one, glutathione. Glutathione shields your eggs. It basically protects them from damage caused by oxidative stress, which are, all sorts of chemicals that we're exposed to during follicular genesis, which is the growth of the follicles. And it protects the eggs as they mature as well. Egg quality is inherently dependent on the amount of glutathione that's available, okay? So eggs with higher levels of glutathione make better quality eggs. And this, it should say follicles with higher levels of glutathione make better quality eggs. And this will lead to better embryos. Glutathione does other things which are also really important, by the way. Helps with detoxification, helps to regulate and mitigate inflammation, and can also improve immune function. So it's far-reaching. Now, I almost didn't include NAC, but I did include NAC. NAC can ease some of that stress. By the way, NAC is a precursor to glutathione as well, as it has proven to significantly increase ovulation rates. One study found that those who took an NAC supplement during their cycle saw a 52% improvement in ovulation. NAC has also proven to increase pregnancy rates in those women who experience recurrent pregnancy loss. So that's really, truly an important piece, right? So this is not just theory, everybody. This actually works. Okay, these steps are the ones my team and I use to create fertility plans that are helping thousands of women all around the world get pregnant and have healthy babies. For example, another example right here. Mark, I just got a positive pregnancy. Again, I'm shocked. That was just this year, April 20th. You can see it right there. Your supplement protocol sure worked fast. Okay. Luke was born last night on his due date. So she worked with me. She had multiple miscarriages, helped her get pregnant. She delivered her baby, and that was this year. Okay. These are real life examples, real life stories of hope. I'm not going to press play here, but you can watch that on my website because I want to make sure I get to your question. So these women, like you, were struggling and trying to find the reason why they were not getting pregnant, spending hours researching online, going to doctors, and still getting negative tests every month. If you're thinking, I'm ready, where do I start? All you have to do is commit, focus, and take action, which you've already done by being here today and spending the time on this masterclass, which is truly, truly beautiful for all of you. So I just gave you the 6 phases you need to follow to create your own plan, and your plan is important. We can't be misguided and misled ongoingly, or we're not going to get the results we want. But as I'm sure you can imagine, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to getting to the root cause of your fertility and getting pregnant. So you guys all have 2 options. We can do it the hard way, or the easier way is what that should say, okay? The hard way is to continue to do it on your own, researching through Google, starting to implement some of the things we've talked about here, and hopefully getting those results. Or the easy way is taking a proven success path of having a fertility coach by your side, because we all need coaches from time to time, having a step-by-step personalized plan to help you empower your fertility naturally so that you can get pregnant faster. If you're committed to having a baby and decide to work with me and my team, nothing is held back. No missing steps. You just need to follow my lead step by step. And I heard someone who said just last month that they were grateful and relieved to join the program so that they didn't have to stress about figuring out what they needed to do. what Dr. Google was telling them to do and where to go, that just that relief was worth joining the program because they knew that I was going to be supporting them on their journey. And that's what the Fertility Hope Coaching Program includes: years of experience looking into your case and creating a personalized plan. We have been helping couples get pregnant with all different conditions from all different countries. Success stories even from those who were told they needed IVF, that they needed donor egg, or that they were not fertile anymore. So are you ready for results? Are you ready to be included in the future in my stories of hope? I do hope so, okay? Now these are, you can see December 7th, 2020. I hope you're well. My son was born November 3rd, right? So it's truly impactful. Another story of hope right here. And then having Mark as my fertility coach has made this challenging process so much better, and I'm so grateful. In my opinion, having a good fertility coach is worth every penny and has saved me from so much heartache and confusion. I didn't write this, she did. She posted this on Facebook. So we don't ever work with people on false promises, and we only accept applications for people who we truly believe that we can help. So do you want to apply? I want to tell you how the process works so that you understand, and sit tight because I'm coming back to your questions in just a moment. So who is this program for? Women over 40 who are serious about not wasting their fertile years, women who are over 35 who've been trying for over 6 months, women who are between 30 and 35 who've been trying for over a year or have been diagnosed with a fertility condition that they know or have had multiple miscarriages. Women who are under 30 who've been trying to conceive for over 2 years or have been diagnosed with a fertility condition or multiple miscarriages, right? Like PCOS, endometriosis, whatnot. And women who are done researching, and want an expert to put the dots together to finally see the results. Women who are ready to get to the root cause to those normal results, which I often find are not normal. So who is this for? Anyone who feels like this on their journey. My biggest fear is that I'm too old and not going to happen for me. If it doesn't work, if it does work, will my baby be healthy? I'm constantly wondering, do I have PCOS? Do I have endometriosis? Do I have X, Y, and Z condition? Why have I not conceived yet? I'm doing this on my own, and so there's no accountability. Without support, it's easier to give up, and every negative test sets me back to my journey. I want to hold you accountable and push you forward, okay? And my doctors aren't moving quick enough. Recommendations for labs and other things are taking too much time, which I hear all the time, by the way. And I've already been down the medical route and taken the medications and still didn't get pregnant. I need a different solution. If this sounds like you, you're invited to apply to see if you qualify for a call to enroll in my Hope Fertility program. Myself and my team have set aside extra time over the next 3 days to talk to all of you and to see if we can help. And really all we're asking you to do is set aside 30 minutes. And the intention is to understand your fertility journey, your health, based on that information in your application, and identify how we can support you and if you're the right fit to join the Hope Fertility program. So if you want to apply to join me and my team so that we can support you, all you have to do is go to marksklar.com/discovery call. marksklar.com/discovery call. We'll put the link in the description, in the comment section. And there are lots of you on this call. Like right now, it's over 350 people here. But we can only accommodate 7 calls a day. So you must apply now if you want to take advantage of that and join in, okay? If you've already had a call with me or my team, there's no need to apply again. Just use the link that they sent you, that you got in your email after your call, to complete your enrollment and join the program. Okay, here's what I know to be true. Many of the members of my program and all the testimonials you see wouldn't be moms today without investing in a fertility coach that can look into their cases and finally get them answers. Trusting experts who know how to take you where you want to be is the key to fast and a smooth journey to motherhood. So where do you want to be in a year? Sharing your success story like all the stories of hope I've shared, or watching another training that I'm putting out so you can see if you can figure things out on your own. If you're ready to apply, use the link marksklar.com/discovery call. It's in the chat box right now for all of you. And now, as promised, questions for all of you. Okay, so give me 1 second to get over there so you can start posting your questions, and I'm going to be there in just a second. Got to stop sharing my screen. I'm back. Full screen. Okay. Shoot me questions, everybody. I'm ready to answer them. What do we have here? Okay. Where did it go? So Ashley says, I had showed my primary care your vitamins to take and told, wait, it just disappeared, and told me to wait and did an ultrasound. What is, it keeps moving, sorry, because there are too many comments. What is irregular collapsed follicle? Well, it depends on where you were in your cycle, okay, Ashley? And I don't know anything about your case, so it's hard for me to know what's going on. I also don't understand why they said don't take the vitamins, other than they just don't know and don't have the education. I also don't know what you were showing them, other than my list, which, depends on the list you were using. So your primary care is not an OB, by the way. So we just need to be mindful of that, unless you meant the same thing of like using those interchangeably. Amadella says, hi, I'm 32 years old. I have PCOS, but have regular periods and ovulate regularly according to blood tests, which I love to hear from those who have PCOS, by the way. My progesterone is also normal. Why am I not getting pregnant? I wish I could answer that question. What I can tell you is this. I often see other secondary issues in conjunction with PCOS, like thyroid issues. Stress is a huge impact on PCOS and could throw things off. So I do think we now, if all of those things are under control and managed, I do think we need to look beyond that, okay, and look to see what else is going on. I have some questions here, so give me a second. It says, can we talk about testosterone and DHEA? Are they similar? So DHEA is a precursor hormone to testosterone, okay? It feeds testosterone. They are not the same thing, but they both are androgens, so they're in the same family. Hopefully that helps. I don't know what other questions you had about that, but you're welcome to chime back in if you have others. Just turned 45 and told by a fertility specialist that my only option is IUI and only 1 to 2% chance of getting pregnant with that. I'm believing I can still become pregnant naturally since I am healthy. IUI in general has a low success rate overall. And I always say, well, if your chance with IUI at 45 is 1 to 2%, why not just try naturally and work on enhancing your fertility naturally so that you can get the results that you want? There's really potentially no reason to get to use IUI even in that situation. Does a woman that is 44 years of age have a real chance of conceiving without donor egg? All testing you mentioned has been done and are in healthy range. I'll tell you that, yes, I see it regularly, but I don't know enough about your case to specifically say one way or another, other than what you've told me, which is I'm 44 and all my tests look normal. So it's hard for me to say. I would say there's just make sure that your husband's been checked and that everything's normal on that side, or your partner. My sis is 35 and overweight, but her doctor is suggesting bariatric surgery to get her weight down so she can get pregnant. Is that a route she should take? I can't comment on that because it's hard for me to know. I don't know her situation specifically. What I can tell you is that sometimes that does work. it's really important to get to a normal weight. So she may need to do that. It's not my favorite thing to do, but she may. I have seen it, but I don't know her case specifically. What detox would you recommend for after COVID vaccination? How much time would be given to detox before trying? I'm not going to get into a COVID conversation today in terms of detoxing. What I would say is, in terms of time, if you've had the vaccine, give for yourself 3 months before you start trying. How long after a miscarriage, hormone and deficiency testing? Let me see. This is not said. How long after a miscarriage, hormone and deficiency testing, making improvements to diet and lifestyle changes is a good time to start trying to get pregnant again? I say about 2 cycles from the loss. I'm not quite clear on the other part of the question. How to do hormone tests at home? Can you please share the link? We shared a link there. It's marksklar.com/fertility testing to help you get labs done, or so that you can take care of helping yourself get labs done at home. Can someone at age 40 with AMH of 0.07 have a chance of getting pregnant? IVF or normal? I think you have a chance purely based on your age. Your AMH is low, and I'm not happy about that. But I do think that your AMH can go up if it has the right support. And I want to make sure that it gets the right support. Okay. So that's really some of the key things that I want to make sure happens. Often our AMH goes down because it's protecting your eggs, and that's why that number goes down. So we need to support your system, your hormones, ovarian function, and often we'll see that AMH come up. Thoughts on NAD supplement and PQQ? I answered that in the presentation. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And how do I register for your program? There's a link there in terms of registering. You just go to apply to register. You just go to marksklar.com/discovery call. Hi, Dr. Mark. My doctor placed me on metformin and Clomid, but I don't have PCOS. He said both works hand in hand. I've been getting some side effects, especially from the metformin. If you don't have PCOS, if your blood sugar is normal, you don't need to be on metformin. I mean, I don't understand. I see this often, but I don't understand why they're doing this. Someone said that NAD plus and NMN also helps bad cells and good cells in the body. How do we make sure it only helps good cells? I've not heard that before. I will tell you that NAD is not the same thing as NMN. NMN is a precursor to NAD. The research about giving somebody NAD doesn't show the same benefit as NMN. Hopefully that's helpful. Does the brand and where you buy it matter? The brand may make a difference. In terms of where you buy it, like I don't recommend buying your vitamins at Costco, at CVS, or a drugstore. You want good quality vitamins that are going to make a difference. If not, you're just wasting your money. So absolutely, it makes a difference. Can aerobics help with mitochondrial function, but how much is too much? I mean, we need to exercise to oxygenate the cells, but I don't know if you mean any more than that, but I do want you all exercising. I have PCOS and I would like to get pregnant. I will like to work with you and your team. You're welcome to apply at marksklar.com/discovery call. What is the procedure for working with me? So when someone decides to join the program and they join the program to work with me and my team, the first thing that they're going to do is get access to a private member site that gives you all the steps of the things that I want you to start with to do. It also gives you the instructions of the labs that I want to start with, and all the other steps that we need to lay the foundation with. Once we have all the initial testing done, then you're going to send that over to me and my team. We're going to schedule you for a 1-hour consultation with one of us to review your entire case. I do these all week long to review your entire case, to go over your labs, to explain what's going on, to review everything, tell you what next steps we need to do, and to help let you understand how we're going to create your plan. Then we're going to create a plan for you once we have all the necessary information that you can follow, and you get to connect with us every week to answer your questions, to get clarity on anything. In addition to that, we have a private Facebook group where you can post your questions in between calls that we will support you on. I am on that Facebook group all the time, every day. And just yesterday, I had an hour-and-a-half call with my weekly group call for all those in the program to support and answer all their questions. So that's kind of how the program looks. And the program's for life. You get to join those calls forever if you want to. Yep. Let's see here. What else do I have here? I'm 42 and I just had a myomectomy. Is your program safe for afterwards? Absolutely. We're going to help you heal the uterine environment and move forward. We did my AMH test and it's come out low, so they are recommending IVF. I am 33 years old. Should we go for IVF or IUI, or can we try naturally? I don't know what you mean by low AMH because I don't have the actual number. But at 33, I think, one, you should be able to get pregnant naturally. Two, if you need to move forward with any other assisted techniques, we need to work on taking care of the root cause of this before you move forward. You have some time to address and support your AMH, support your egg quality and ovarian reserve, and your hormones and hormone balance. So let's focus on that. Give yourself a little bit of time. This is about having a little bit more patience and taking a step back to give yourself the opportunity to make change before you move forward. And once you move forward, hopefully you can get pregnant naturally. But if not, then you're going to be much better prepared to be successful with IUI or IVF. Lots of talking. My throat is dry. My AMH is 0.67 and FSH is 6.6. Does this mean I can't get pregnant? It does not mean that. My OBGYN said my hormone levels were normal, but my period's gone down to 2 to 2.5 days. Is this normal? I'd like to see your cycle be a little bit longer. Your bleed a little bit longer, but your FSH looks fine. Again, this is an incomplete picture because I'm only looking at 2 hormones. But I don't see, with a little bit of support, why you can't get pregnant. If we sign up, how many sessions do we get with you? Do we get to communicate via email with you directly? So we don't communicate via email unless I send you an email back and forth about your plan or something like that. But you're going to get a call with me. So I just discussed that. You also get weekly group calls with me and my team, and which is where you communicate with me, and also in the Facebook group you can communicate with me. Again, I answer questions all day long. Did it this morning. I'm going to do it this afternoon. General reasons for miscarriage. So miscarriages can happen for many, many reasons. The top 3 are genetics, which, there was something wrong with the embryo genetically, and that's why it didn't last. The second one is immune issues. Your immune system is compromised and not allowing your body to hold the pregnancy, or blood clotting factors, which are not allowing you to hold the pregnancy and cause a blood clot and cause you to lose the pregnancy. So those are the 3 main reasons. There are others, but those are the primary ones. Can you or your team provide help with endometriosis and blocked fallopian tubes? I'm 38 and told I need IVF to get pregnant. So endometriosis is something we can absolutely help with. Blocked fallopian tubes depends on the severity of the blockage. Is it a full blockage? Is it both tubes, one tube? That's much harder to address and takes much longer to treat and reverse. But endometriosis is something we see all the time. Can I get pregnant with hyperthyroidism? Yes, you can. You should be able to. It's not as common as hypothyroid. We don't hear that often. But yes, you should be able to. And does DHEA make fibroids worse? It can, actually. It's a great question. It absolutely can. Would this particular program work with IVF? Single women don't have the option for natural path. Absolutely. We still need to get your body healthy, prepared, balanced, and normal so that you can go to IVF and be successful the first time with as little repeat cycles as possible. And I'm 29. And I will say about 50% of the women who join the program or in my programs are trying with IVF, just so you know. I'm 29, one miscarriage. I've been trying to conceive for 4 years. The only thing they discovered in my labs is that my AMH is 0.45. So what I can tell you is, and I don't have a cause or a much suggestions for you at this moment. What I can tell you is we need to figure out why that's happening. For me, it's really, really important. You're too young to have an AMH of that level. It tells me that something has to be going on at a different level, that we have to understand what it is. We have to get to the root cause of why why your AMH is so low, which is causing you to have some difficulties at that age, because that shouldn't be the case. So that's really where I would want to figure out, what I would want to figure out is figuring out why that's happening. Can you talk about cervical mucus when when estrogen is normal, but cervical mucus is barely there? I don't get the egg white mucus. What can I do? We do want to support your cervical mucus, your mucus environment, because it's really important. Now, why that happens can happen for a lot of reasons. Now, you did say that your estrogen is normal. Sorry, I'm rereading it. Now, when you say it's barely there, I don't know if I'm going to get an answer, but I'm going to have to ask a question here. When you say it's barely there, meaning you don't notice it, but you don't need lubricant when you are having intercourse, or you don't see it and you need lubricant because you're too dry during intercourse? Because those are two different things. You might actually have plenty of cervical mucus, you just don't notice it, like in your underwear or something. So that's just something to be mindful of. If you can answer back, that would be great. And then what are your thoughts on self-fertility massage, and who would you recommend it for? I love it. It's part of my home therapy techniques that I recommend. I think pretty much everyone can benefit from it, but there might be certain instances where I think it's better, like endometriosis, cysts, fibroids, things of that nature, where I think it might be more useful in those situations. All right, let's see if we can find some more questions. Wow, there are so many questions here. Let's see if we can get to it. So we have to incorporate acupuncture into your program to get pregnant? No, you don't. It would, you said that should say do not so. So do we need to? No, you don't have to. Now, for some of you, I might recommend it, but it's not for everybody. Someone says, my period was normal before, and now for 2 months, it's late, 10 to 12 days. Is it normal, as my hormones are normal? I'd have to look at your hormone profile to get a better understanding for what's going on. Yeah. Is melatonin an important supplement for egg quality? Maybe. I do like it, but I don't like to recommend it for everybody, because, again, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all. I think it can be beneficial in some circumstances, but I don't think everybody should be on it. Yeah. We also have to be careful with melatonin, because it can throw off our circadian rhythms. Please, where's the link to purchase those supplements? You're going to be getting an email for that. Okay, you're going to be getting an email for that. All right, I'm going to take one more question. Rachel says, I'm 39, one miscarriage in March, just tested and have low iron, vitamin D, vitamin C, calcium, manganese, CoQ10, B5, glutathione, and sorry, it keeps moving. When can we try to conceive again after starting supplements? Oh, so those are the supplements you're taking, Rachel. Or are you saying you're low in all those things? If you're low in all those things, you've got to give those a little bit of time. I would give it a couple months before you start trying. Sorry, I'm not sure if I fully understood your question. All right. What are your thoughts on taking folic acid to prepare the body for pregnancy? I do believe we all need to be on folate, not folic acid. I think folate is essential for all of us. and something that we all need to take as part of our preconception plan. But I don't like folic acid because many of you can't metabolize and digest folic acid. So I prefer folate. All right, I see one more question. Okay, I'm 39. No, I already got that question. My ferritin is 3 and iron level is less than 10 in blood. Also, my BMI is low. How does this affect my fertility? I'm 31 years old and I have a 33-day cycle. Well, your iron levels are really, really important for your overall health, but also for your hormone regulation. We need to get those numbers high. Those are very low. You might be bleeding from someplace, so I would ask you to get evaluated and see if you have any abnormal bleeding anywhere. Like the more likely place that it might be hiding is rectally, like in your stool. So that would be something that that I would want to get checked out, because that's your levels are pretty low, and we want to address that for sure. So once one gets pregnant, how do you support the pregnancy to term? Well, like I just got not an hour ago, 2 hours ago, I just got off a call with a woman who is she's about to go to be 10 weeks pregnant, and what I do is help all of you get through your first trimester, and then if you have questions, which usually it's pretty straightforward at that point, then you can join my calls and we'll support you and address those things. I'm not an OBGYN, so you will need to still see your OBGYN, but the reality is there's a lot that still needs to be done in your first trimester to make sure you get through that properly without a miscarriage. So yeah. All right, everyone. Wow. 81 minutes, going on 82 minutes. I want to thank you all for staying here, for being here till the end, for joining with all your questions and allowing me to support you on your journey. I want to remind you all, you have the ability to get pregnant, but we have to make changes. We have to have a plan to support you on your journey based on your specific needs, okay? Based on your process. So I want you all to take a step back, look at your fertility journey in a different way, start to have a different perspective on your egg quality and ovarian reserve. Take the thoughts out of your head that it can't be changed, because it can, okay? It can be changed. You can improve this. You have the power. And if you want my team and I to support you on your journey, to help you figure out why it's not happening, and then to create a customized plan for you, I invite you to apply to work with me and my team and to set up a discovery call. And all you have to do is use the link in the chat box, or go to marksklar.com/discovery call. Again, marksklar.com/discovery call. All right, everyone. Hopefully you found this useful and helpful. I appreciate all of you being here and your time, and I am grateful that I was here to able to support all of you. I want you all to have an amazing, amazing day and weekend. And most of all, I want you all to stay safe and stay healthy, and as always, stay fertile. If you have more questions, please reach out to me and my team. We will be happy to answer those. All right, everyone. Bye.